elimination match at the Major. Whoever loses gets 5th place.
Bye.
So we will see now Darkseer and Doom banned out first with a Drow and a Pango. Didn't really want to talk about Pangolier, a very strong hero in OG's playbook. As you told me earlier today, Mr. Grant, they have run that mid more than 3 times this Major.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy, especially because they're first picking, right? Like this team, they'll just first pick that Pango, and you're like, oh, maybe it'll be Jerix's, and then like as it goes on, you're like, no, it's just straight up his mid hero every single time. And the thing is, it doesn't mind doing the worst in lane, because once you get that first roll going, you get a good team fight, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I guess Liquid thought that wasn't the reason they lost yesterday, because I was thinking, like, did they watch yesterday? Like, you don't have to ban any of those heroes. Run it back.
Yeah, we will talk about that series that happened yesterday a little bit more, but one of the things that I'm most interested in this game is, all right, I'm going to do a little bit of sucking up here. Okay, don't call me a shill, but I feel like True Sight was actually really good in giving us some good perspectives on how these teams think, and they're both kind of similar. Seb and Kuro both play these games like, let's not worry about the other guy, let's focus, let's have fun, let's do what we want to do, and it seems like they're respecting that. OG sniping that Earthshaker.
Yeah, you can't give it like Team Liquid. You can't give them Earthshaker +1, right? We saw that with Secret. They're just like, okay, Earthshaker plus Storm. All of a sudden, our first pick Storm's already covered by a hero.
Can't you take NP though as Liquid? That was their preferred round of opening.
I mean, I think they should, right? And if you take the NP, it kind of also counters the ABBA in lane, because the ABBA just wants to spam out, and the NP just kind of beats him up.
Or you can take ABBA yourself. I'd be okay with taking either of the 5s right now.
I just want to see the strong. I think the strongest opening this tournament on second pick is Nature's Prophet Sand King, and I think there's nothing wrong with that right now.
I mean, Sand King is not the strongest. I mean, he's a good one, but you really think that that's the best opening you could possibly
in the second pick, I do.
I see.
I think it's like just because you can always play him in the Nature's Prophet in 3. They go, whoa! Okay.
We were half right, Grant.
We were. And I like the right Rubik. Fisher is actually one of the best non-ultimate spells to steal in the game.
I think you do need a damage dealing support, though. If you take Rubik, the downside of having Rubik on your lineup is that like he has a lot of cool functions. Like you get to steal spells, obviously. Fate Bolt. Your lift is kind of whatever as a stun. The best part about it is that it's instant. But in terms of actually dealing damage, Fate Bolt doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
There are easy ways around it. During BKBs, he doesn't do anything as a 4 position, and that hurts him a lot. Is that you can't pop out, do anything to BKBs. What you're trying to do with Rubik is just like steal 2 control spells, so that you have Fissure, you have Lift, you have 2 different ways to stun, which most heroes just don't get.
Right.
But they open up with the Troll, which I think is really good, because neither of those guys, if it's a 4 and a 5, or if it's a 3 and a 4, especially if it's a 3 and a 4, like NP plus Rubik, Troll doesn't care about those heroes. Like, it doesn't bother him in the least. Rubik won't really hurt him. NP, he can always spin on the treants.
But Grant, I mean,
yes.
We've seen OG run a lot of PAs, and in my book right now, still in the meta, it's like you pick either PA or Troll. They kind of do both the same job. Why Troll specifically in this game?
I think PA is just way worse in the lane, like he said. The Troll, like, even in matchups right now, it's like a lot harder. Like, we haven't seen Lifesteal at all this event, but you pretty much can't pick Lifesteal versus Troll. It denies a ton of, like, you don't want Spectre versus Troll in lane, and Troll can go middle. That's the thing. You don't mind if your Troll goes in 2 different lanes.
I see. So we have the Razor band out, as we saw a fantastic game yesterday with a Razor coming out there on Matumba Man. He didn't really do anything but static link heroes, but he got full duration static links.
All you need.
I mean, he had hardly any kills.
And that hero is still, I don't know, I think Razor is more broken than teams are getting credit for, because you actually you can just lose your mid lane straight up or wherever you want. You go to the jungle, you have level 4 in your passive, and you're farming the jungle quicker than the old Viper used to.
Oh, that is a scary sentence right there.
It is, because you have your ulti, right? Your ulti helps you farm so quickly in the jungle. You clear like 5 camps, you can stack them all with Plasma Field, but it's gone, so, be cool.
Winter Wyvern, speaking of cool, great pick against Troll Warlord to make sure that even if he can't die, whoever he's hitting can't die, so that's pretty strong. And our last ban coming out from Liquid, they're going to take some time on this one most likely and really think about what that strategy is.
I think they want to ban, what's the strongest
10 seconds remaining.
5 that OG could pick?
Probably Abba.
Yeah, I think maybe just ban, but apparently they haven't want to take. The problem with Abba is like he's strong in lane, but if you do get tri-laned, Abba feels pretty bad in those.
Yeah, and he's also really bad at dealing with heroes that pull waves or stack. Like if you cut the wave as like Centaur, for example, Abba can't really do anything. He just sort of watches you do
He
it.
throws some mist coil, says hello, and just kills him anyways.
Now most teams are kind of
Okay, so it is a 3-4.
They're like one of the only teams playing it right now because we even saw on the GH screen actually it said like Lich was on there, and I'm like, I forgot about that hero. But the physical order, it's just so good. Like in laning phase, in mid game, it's like this save that also is an aggressive save because you just chase people down with the slow.
Yeah, I think you need some more like long range control or like a better. I think you need a better way to start a fight on Liquid right now with one of their two cores. I think there's two ways to do this. Either A, you pick something like Dusa and you just walk her down lanes. I think Dusa, the best part about her in this like these drafts lately is that she just fills in a lot of weaknesses. Like your lineup doesn't have a lot of stuns. Well, we'll take Dusa because she can just march down lanes and win the game by herself.
Yeah,
like we saw LGD versus VP.
You definitely with the now with people knowing the AM versus Medusa lane is pretty good. I don't think Liquid can pick you right because then OG would have that counter pick on the fourth.
I mean, okay, so they do take Abba. I think Liquid. This is a fine Dusa game because I don't think OG does enough.
I mean,
I think AM Troll is like a really mediocre like dual lane or like a
duo core.
Yeah, dual core.
I just like it because I think AM just destroys the lane, and then Troll right. OG is one of the few teams that'll do. They did Vlad's Troll already. Like they're not afraid to. We don't need Battle Fear. We'll just. I think he went. It went Vlad's BKB or Vlad's Death Zone, and they just run at you. And I think Medusa just falls off if they steal your stacks right, because Troll can steal a Medusa stacks.
Oh, that is a dirty move.
It is. I'm surprised we haven't been seeing it more. Like, stacks are pretty much just going uncontested. It's like back at TI4 or TI5, people are just letting you do stacks with, like, Tide Hunters, Medusas, and I guess you're just scared to go on their side of the map.
Hey, you risk a lot. And there you go. You guys called it.
Yeah, I would do it. I would AM him right now. I know you don't like it, but I would.
But that's why I think, like, Liquid, I was pretty sure of the Dusa pick because if you look at OG's lineup, their heroes don't really do anything to the Dusa. Like, Earthshaker, people think of, like, the big Echo Slams, but most of the time, Medusa's just isolated. And if you Echo her, it deals, like, 200 damage. You don't really find the opportunities to kill her. I think I saw that game, actually, where Liquid ran Dusa against an Earthshaker. He would, like, use his full combo kit, dent the mana shield, and against Troll, she's great because of the Stone Gaze. Like, when he pops his ult, he can't do anything about it. He's going to get Stone Gazed. And then Abba deals 0 damage. I think that is a good response because it's good against all of Liquid's heroes. It's good against Nature's Prophet. It's great against the Dusa. But then I think if you're Liquid here, you might consider taking something like the Lifestealer. And then you can have this like dual frontline core. It's a good laner against... it's a great laner actually against the Batrider. It doesn't die against any of these heroes.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, you can't root during Rage, I think. Lifestealer is most likely the hero that I take for Liquid, depending on what OG picks last.
Yeah, and I do like the Batrider versus Medusa. Like, you don't do the most damage, but it's like the one hero that can take him out of position, which is nice, because Rubik, unless he has a blink or an Aether lens, he won't be able to, like, save that. And
they take Monkey King.
Come on, Monkey. I mean, they're doing it kind of like yesterday, right? They got to win this game reasonably early, it feels like.
Yeah, okay, so they take Weaver. It's the same concept as Lifestealer, because I think there's 3 heroes that lane well against Batrider in the safe lane. It's Weaver, Lifestealer, and Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Because all 3 of them have a way to deal with the Batrider sticky napalm. Mm-hmm. I guess Faceless Void to a certain extent, because you can time dilate them, but...
Yeah. I'm looking, it's pretty much OG. They didn't pick as crazy heroes like the Ana Bounty Hunter, but they're playing, it feels like, with Troll, obviously you can Battle Fear, you can go late, but that's not really their style. OG, they want to take this 25, 35 minutes in, just run over them. But if this Medusa does stacks, it's going to be tough. But I believe in OG. I think they can do this 25. You have a Monkey King, Batrider, and Troll, some of the best mid-game cores. You just run at people. You don't want to fight in Wukong's command. You don't want to fight into Firefly and all that. There's an Abba saving them. There's that big... Oh, it's the Earthshaker. I like OG. I really do. I think it's tough.
But do they have enough to stop that Weaver from getting out of control, Blitz? They have enough to even touch the Dusa and be able to kill her?
I think Weaver is actually the hero that made me go away from Liquid's draft. Because before that, I was a big fan of the Dusa. I thought that there was no heroes that countered it in OG's draft. But I think Weaver right now is just a weak hero.
Yeah.
I think I favored Liquid heavily until the Weaver pick. So I guess I'll go with OG, but that's like a reluctant...
Okay.
The Earthshaker...
Gentlemen, please calm down. We are going over to the game. We have some great casters over for you, so let's get started. Game 1, Liquid versus OG. Throw it on over them. It's action time.
That's right, our wonderful analysts wanted to be able to break down the entire game, but they gotta leave a little bit to us. Cap, Tsunami, what do you think, Tsunami? I mean, this is gonna be an interesting matchup. Former TI champs against former TI champs.
Chance for redemption for both teams. TI7 champions looking for redemption, and OG looking for redemption after yesterday.
Yeah, that was definitely a rough game yesterday for OG, so they're looking to be able to bounce back in this lower bracket. We'll see whether or not they can do so against Team Liquid.
The pattern is complete!
Game 1 between these two Dota giants. Tsunami, you heard the analysts break down some of the draft. How do you look at it?
So I know Blitz was very apprehensive about the Weaver, and I don't blame him. It's just that a lot of teams like Weaver, specifically against this Batrider. If you can't get like the Lifestealer, which just hasn't really been a hero this game, the Juggernaut, then more often than not we're seeing the Weaver. We saw the Naga Siren every once in a while, and that one just ultimately was proving to be a little bit too slow. If you already have the Medusa, why not get something a little bit faster? Why not go for the Weaver?
Then on the OG side, we have this last pick in the Monkey King, which is going to attempt to be the Medusa counter, right, with the Diffusal Blade and Wukong's command combo. It is, that being said, this matchup is a lot different than it used to be when it comes to the laning phase, right?
Yeah, Mischief is not as powerful as it once was. Granted, it's still very, very useful in this matchup, which is why Monkey King did not completely fall off as a lane counter to Medusa, but it's not as dominant as it once used to be. Granted, I'm just happy to not see Thompson on Pangolier.
Yeah, that was a rough time. We are going to have the Dusa Monkey King matchup, and as expected, the GH is actually going to show up to lane, though, almost immediately. Probably going to make his way over to top, where the Furion is currently all alone. Mind Control trying to battle it out with No-Tail and Anna. Of course, all this harassment damage is all going to be for naught, because it's just going to be miscall charge after miscall charge. So you can see No-Tail is actually using it to be able to get CS now on some of the Treants. Eventually, he'll just get himself killed and come back to lane.
Let's give him 5 more mana, and I'm sure he'll kill himself with a smile on his face. This is...
I would love... Look at GH. I think he really wants to see if he can go for it. Somehow snipe away that kill, but No-Tail hides very deeply inside of the trees.
He took Fade Bolt. Could have happened, but No-Tail was wise.
Jerax actually blocking out that little medium camp right next to the Radiant side, which is a very common advantage for Radiant, and a good farming spot for Weaver, just stacking that up. Seb's taking a lot of damage here in this bottom lane, but has enough sticky napalm stacks that Liquid don't feel comfortable going for the dive just yet. They're going to go for it now, though. Shikuchi's already done so much damage. Matumman's going to take a decent amount of damage from the fire and the tower shots, but not enough to die. He secures the first blood on Seb and stays alive.
And the Frost Shield. Oh, the fissure from the shadow. Jerax snipes it.
Managed to pick up a big kill there on Matumman. That's 400 gold for Jerax, and now he's gone because of the boots. First build, he can almost have his arcane boots already.
That's money in the bank. We'll see what Jarex wants to do. He immediately grabs an Invis Rune, starts TPing top, so he is not slowing down anytime soon. Sees GH, but he's got plenty of time left on this Invis Rune. Ideally, he's looking for a mind control block.
He could get some sort of sick Fisher block here against the cliff, considering where GH has positioned himself.
Oh, the tree's been eaten. Might not be possible now.
He's just going to shadow him for now, waiting for his opportunity. It's a little bit difficult, though.
He's only level 1 right now. So close to level 2, just 2 experience away.
Is he going to go for the CS, maybe? Trying to block mind control a little bit. Control coming in. Tries to get it with the Fate Bolt. GH does manage to get to that bigger creep. Now he goes for the Fisher block. Actually misses it, though. GH on the other side. Jarex just gives him a couple swipes, but he's actually blocked out by the trains. Now tossed up in the... Oh, no! Jarex, you spent all this time invisible for what? No tail, he's going to be chased down by GH. Actually gets that kill. And Jarex, well, he's got no way down. He's got no TP scroll. Honestly, I'm not even sure. Is it worth killing him? Do they really want to kill him?
Just toy with him. Let him strangle up there. The courier is heading mid, and it has a Jarex TP on it.
But this is just amazing. I can't believe things went so right for Jarex at the start, being able to get that kill on the Weaver, and now has gone so terribly wrong.
Dude wants to play some Dota. Liquid's not letting him.
And how is that courier possibly going to make its way over? Maybe Thompson can bail him out, or they're just going to bring the courier all the way over here, but...
Rubik's heading over, but he wouldn't be able to do the damage to it.
Yeah.
He can telekinesis it, though.
If he gets any sort of vision...
Yeah, he's going to telekinesis the Earthshaker. He does not have a ward, though. And Sprout is not leveled up yet. So Jarex, I don't know if he knows or not.
He's like trying to keep pace with Jarex, because he can see over the cliff as long as you're right next to him. So Jarex is trying to get the little bit of distance. Finally, it looks like they're just a little bit of catch and release policy, it seems. They're going to be kind to Jarex here and let him play.
I mean, the dude still has a hook in his mouth, though. Ever since he hit level 2, he's just slightly experienced after that. And now he shamefully puts the Arcane Orb in his quick buy, but it could have been obtained so much sooner. Minor setback for OG.
I mean, he was at like 500 gold at 2 minutes, now 4.5. Good telekinesis toss back there. We'll get 2 tower shots on Anna, but maybe they've actually gone a little bit too aggressive. GH had a lot of magic wand stacks. Will be able to stay alive against that bit of aggression from OG, who continue to run out for their defensive tri-lane. Running into GH here again, will be able to take off part of that healing salve.
Meanwhile, we can take a look at the other lanes. Medusa versus Monkey King, fairly even thus far, as to be expected, especially with no rotations really happening. Although Thompson is taking a fair amount of abuse, but it looks like he may go for some boundless plays.
Oh, he's going to be able to get with the Jingu stacks here, trying to man up against Miracle, but he's going to be a bit too low. Miracle wins that fight, but at top lane, it's GH who may be in trouble here, but he does have a shrine available. Hit by the Fisher, though, and he's actually just going to run away from Anna, not popping the shrine just yet until Mind Control joins him. That is full shrine efficiency right there, as Miracle does manage to come in for the last little bit as well. They are going to be able to telekinesis Anna back. Mystic Snake is there. Treants block him in even more. Jarex is going to try and come in and help Anna a bit, but these Treants just stay on top of Anna. Anna finally realizes he can turn and fight, though, with the help of No Tail as well as the Fisher block. GH is in trouble, and he should be dying here as the Fateful will slow down a lot of his damage, but can't get through. Anna claims that kill on GH after some frustrating body blocks from Mind Control.
And No Tail was critical to helping Anna survive the aphotic shields, the mist coils. Without him, Anna would have gone down for sure. But it's requiring a lot of focus. Granted, now Jarex has completed his arcane boots, and he scoops up another invis. Hopefully this one ends better than the first.
Yeah, certainly. Maybe he's going to head down to bottom lane to help out this Bat Rider. Seb has been alone for quite some time, and his CS is suffering because of it, 16-3. But at the same time, the Furion is not that far ahead, and if they can actually get this kill onto Kuro, it would be massive. He's run out of mana here, does pop the stick charges and managed to get off the frost armor, but thanks to the sticky napalm, he's going to be run down eventually here. 3-3, OG tying up the score.
Things are looking good, at least far better than they were in the secret game, and that's currently my benchmark for OG early game capabilities.
That is true. It doesn't look like this is going to be a record-breaking loss for OG just yet.
Monkey King's doing well in the mid lane, Troll Warlord's doing well in the top lane, but the Liquid heroes are keeping the pace. And when you have a Medusa on your team...
Oh, I like that. I like Jarek's positioning there. Now they're going for Miracle, but a Fisher coming out and blocks out Thompson a little bit. Thompson trying to get away, but he's sprouted in, and Miracle doesn't actually die. A mass rotation out from Liquid as they're going to try and catch Jarek's here as well, thanks to the stare out from Kuro. They should be able to put down Jarek's pretty easily. That TP will not complete. 5-3 now is a bit of a misstep from OG in the mid lane. Cost them 2 deaths.
Cost them 2 deaths, but it cost them literally the entire Liquid team migrating to help that Medusa. You see how high of a priority Miracle's safety is right now this game, because if they can manage to not get run down in the first 15 minutes, they have the late game in the bag. That's why you should absolutely send your Weaver in those situations.
I'm sure OG took a hard look at the way that VG Gaming shut down Miracle's Medusa, and we talked about a little bit about the difference in playstyle and the way Liquid plays out this Medusa, not nearly being as defensive around these towers and much more farm heavy. There's definitely going to be a priority in trying to shut him down. Liquid playing very defensively around him, though.
Yeah, you're seeing the aggression in the laning phase, and I'm sure as we already see Miracle start to jungle, we're going to see Seb's Batrider make a lot of aggressive movements, place a lot of aggressive vision in this Radiant jungle.
Trying to invade here, take away that medium camp. Will manage to get on top of Miracle here, getting up those Jingu stacks. Kuro should be able to protect Miracle pretty well here. Kuro actually gets a little close to Thompson. Oh, Jesus, that's what I thought. Kuro way too close to the Monkey King, underestimating that damage. They are going to be able to get the lasso here on the side. Pulling back the Furion with the Weaver there. Will be able to get a really good set of bugs. And Seb as well. Seb's just trying to kill Mind Control, but doesn't get him. He just needed 1 tick of Fire Flame damage, and it would have been good enough. But Thompson, at least, very fortunate to be able to get away.
Again, all of Liquid have a little party down mid. OG are losing heroes, but they're not getting the kill on these Medusas. You see how badly Thompson wants it. But between the Lich, Frost Armor, and Weaver constantly making rotations, it's just not as easy as you'd think.
Seb rotates back down to bottom. And this is going to be a hard lane now, especially with the Shukuchi maxed out. Matama Men just can keep pressuring. You know what I kind of like about the Weaver in this matchup is, maybe Anna had the phase boots to be able to get through those trains, is the fact that it's like a damage amplifier for the Medusa, right? When you throw out the Crypt Swarm and it starts applying that minus armor, that might as well be some sort of aura helping the Medusa deal more damage.
Yeah, exactly. That Swarm, the Beetles, the armor reduction is just so incredibly valuable. Granted, it's so far mostly magic damage with the Fade Bolt and the Shukuchi and the Mystic Snake, but that's definitely going to add up later on.
10-minute bounty runes are coming up. Matama Man gonna try and set up here.
I like how Medusa just straight up abandoned the mid lane. Lich has been keeping it warm or cool.
Matama Man should be fine here as he grabs a bounty rune, takes a little damage for it, and actually gets the other one. That should have been OG invading and taking that, but perhaps they were a little bit too scared. Perhaps there are more heroes, so Liquid actually getting a number of bounty runes here, 7-4. And 7-4 is the kill score as well, actually. Bounty runes and kills matching up, both leading Liquid to a 2,000 net worth advantage.
And so Weaver's still thinking about coming mid. Matumba Man is really just interested in making sure this Medusa gets her way to mid to late game. Thompson is starting to hammer down this mid lane tower with the siege creep wave.
Gonna come forward, Shukuchi, thought better of it, will be able to retreat back. Doesn't want to show himself just yet until they're going to make a go here onto Thompson, but No Tail's right behind him. The Crypt Swarm is going to come out. No Tail has plenty of defense for Thompson, so he really should be fine here.
Cap, I know you love Death Prophet, but it's just the swarms.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Mind control. He's in trouble.
Successful rotation from Seb. This dude has completed his BOTs. He's going to start showing up all over the map. And still a kind of lack of offensive vision from OG right now. They have planted one aggressive observer ward in the western jungle. And
Run away. Does have an I can't believe he popped the healing salve there. Surely Matama Man's just going to be able to chase him down as there was really nowhere to run to. That's a little rough. Did I just hear someone in the audience yelling out Seb?
He was trying, all right? Give it.
I want to see more of this. I want to see more of that.
The crowd chat wheel, that's what you want to see. You don't want to hear a orangutan sloppy kiss from the crowd.
8-5. Team Liquid maybe losing their mid-tier 1 tower here. They're going to keep on rotating over and try and stop it, but bit by bit, that tower is going to be falling soon. Thompson tries again to finish it off with the help of No Tails Abaddon right behind him.
I mean, Chain Frost is available, and right now, GH has Fissure stolen, so if OG step a little bit past the river, they may be in big trouble, but they smoke up. The Monkey King and the Abaddon grab an Illusion Rune. And they want it. It's all about finding this Medusa.
Where are they going? I mean, Thompson's going to separate himself from No Tail. No Tail's going to be the one to hit the creeps, and Thompson just kind of hanging out in the trees, been trying to get the vision, I guess, to be able to backdoor this tier 1 real quickly. But there is supports hanging out here. Thompson's still going to go for it. Boundless Strike goes out. Fisher trying to go for the deny. GH couldn't get it in time. Well played by Thompson, being able to finally secure that bounty on the tier 1 mid tower.
And any team that plays against the Medusa knows how valuable it is to take that mid-tier 1. The entryways into either jungle are much, much easier. Like, you saw that smoke. They smoked up, they went down into the river, and they had to waste a bunch of time. Now they smoke up again, and it's undispelled because there's no more tower there anymore. Unfortunately, Medusa's like, sweet, you took my mid-tier 1, now I can farm much safer at my mid-tier 2. So that's why OG are going to start to move up to this top lane.
I like that, the fact that OG just off of it, taking that tower, get some aggressive vision down and just kind of like take over that offlane jungle, making sure the Medusa at least isn't able to farm Ancients. And that is going to be the advantage for OG right now, but I don't think their heroes really want to chill out too much. It seems like OG are going to maintain their aggression.
Is under attack.
Head down to the safe lane tier 1.
And Liquid are more than happy to meet them with that aggression. Weaver's actually going for a Maelstrom build, so I was very curious to see, seeing as how active Matumba Man is early on, should he tank up, or should he just try to go for kills? And right now it looks like he just wants to go for kills.
No Tail needs to be bailed out here. The Rusev is going to be able to get the lasso, and it looks like Matumba Man, he thought he had a freebie on the Abaddon, but it was all just a trap.
Let him have it, Cap. Let him have it. Another tier 1 tower starting to get sieged, and this one, Liquid is too late to defend. They have no idea where Thompson is. As far as they know, he could be hiding underneath that bot tier 1, so Ana's just going to be able to take this uncontested.
An early TP in from Mind Control. Looks like he's just going to do some harassment damage to this mid tier 1 while there is a focus on OG at bottom lane. You could see Liquid, they would love to be able to even out the map control that OG currently has, but they just can't do it. They're not strong enough right now. Maybe with that Maelstrom, things can change.
Not having an easy blink initiator makes it very difficult. Normally at this stage of the game, you have at least one person who can get, easy pickoffs here and there, but Rubik has an Aether Lens, which kind of helps. You just don't have anyone who can take the enemy team completely by surprise. Even a Nature's Prophet teleport doesn't really get the job done.
Well, Seb's done pretty well for himself when it comes to farming. Boots of Travel, Blink Dagger now at 15 minutes, so OG, they very clearly want to be able to get more pickoffs, and that's going to be enabled by the Blink, and they need to kind of hurry up about it too, because Team Liquid is beginning to get some serious farm on that Medusa. Currently sitting at 7,200, they're going to be able to find GH here. A good kill for sure. He steals the enchant totem, not going to do too much for him.
And the crowd goes wild. Another movement. Surprisingly, Liquid are basically, after meeting nearly every single engagement, Liquid is just running away from OG at this stage. Matumba Man starts moving top. Possibly now that he knows that the lasso is down, he feels a little bit safer on the map, seeing as how he did not go for anything like a Linken's build. And he does see Bad Rider.
He's going to be able to get the swarm on him. The TP out immediately by
the
Seb. The Wrath of Nature helps cut him down 9-7 now. as that will help complete the Maelstrom from Matama Man. I do like the way that OG's kind of layered their draft in the regards that they still have this Battle Fury troll who's going to be farming obviously to an extreme number, maybe be able to stay ahead of the Medusa for the entire game. But they also have this nice mid-game timer with the Monkey King, with the Echo Saber into Diffusal Blade build.
Yeah,
Deanna's really beginning to take off now.
Not all hope is lost if they go late as well because of this build. Whereas normally against a Medusa, life is very, very bad once you go past 40 minutes. But if you have the Battle Fury timing, it becomes more on Seb to find the initiation. If you can initiate on this Medusa, then you can go as late as necessary against her.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
OG simultaneously defending top tower and still pushing some pressure on bottom. It is leaving the Monkey King alone. Liquid realizing that, or looking to be able to catch Thompson here, but he's already hidden into the trees. Mind control. Tried to find him just kind of blindly by summoning Treants and hoping he would cut the right tree down.
This game of cat and mouse is probably infuriating for OG. All they want is one little pickoff, and then they can start pushing objectives. They know it's too much trouble to invade all the way into Medusa's jungle, so they just want to find someone on the exterior of the map.
Oh, he's going to cut over. He saw the Fury TP out, and they know they can just sandwich onto these supports. Wukong's command goes out. Immediately gets the stun onto the ledge to make sure there's no chain frost. Now they're going to have the Rubik dead as well. GH is gone, and Miracle's going to get caught. Does manage to get off the Stone Gaze, but can he actually fully get out of here? A long-range Fisher from Jarek. That'll cancel the TP for Miracle. Matama Man trying to go for the kill on his Seb here. Seb drops a little bit low, but Matama Man kick him in. Now slams him down. Keeps the Whipper locked down, and OG, a 1-for-4 exchange. Beautiful.
All that effort finally paid off. You'd think the team with the Nature's Prophet would win any game of cat and mouse with teleports, but the BOTs on the Batrider are starting to prove to be the most valuable factor in moving from top to bottom to top to bottom. They get that aggressive ward earlier on in the southern jungle. It pays dividends heavily, as we see in this replay.
Really great setup. I mean, just simultaneously being able to take out both supports out of the pool. And then from there, it's just kind of like whoever you can grab.
Especially Jerax being able to grab this Medusa at the tail end of that TP with the fissure.
You could see Matama Man thought he could kind of go for it. He did bring Jerax so low, but the last second the Echo Slam does manage to claim the kill, and now OG taking a little bit more solid of a net worth lead. I'm surprised it's not higher, honestly, after a team fight like that. Only 1,000 net worth lead for them.
I mean, I'm sure if we saw most heat maps, you'd be seeing the majority of Liquid players inside the lanes, whereas the OG players, they're cruising around in the jungles. They're looking for heroes. They're not necessarily just farming waves. And whenever they do farm waves, it's always on their side of the map, just because of how aggressive this Weaver and this Nature's Prophet have been pushing.
Thompson does manage to get the swarm off of him here. At tier 1 mid tower. Oh, got the deny. Well played, Thompson.
Using that Echo Saber attack speed, well done.
20-minute bounty runes are coming up. You could see Seb and No-Tail would love a pick off here to help secure the two. Blink Dagger on Jerax now being up. That's going to definitely help out their team fight and their initiation. They're going to try and chase in, see if they can find him. They spot Mind Control. Will be able to blink forward lasso. There's going to be GH there immediately. Body shield. Thompson comes in. Now he gets lassoed up as well. What is the moves by GH? So the chain frost is actually going to be negated there by Seb moving out of the way. Thompson still unable to get off the Wukong's command. Finally goes down with a great Fisher coming out. Jerax managed to line it up. So Thompson staying alive inside of his own Wukong's command. And now Mind Control can't do enough damage. That extra armor is too much. Matama Man wants to be able to get in there, but now he's hopped inside the trees. He's able to jump out OG with a full retreat. No-Tail maybe caught here as he tries to go inside the rope shop and denies himself. Beautifully set up there. Denying pretty much everything from Liquid. They only got the kill on the Earthshaker out of that.
Support for support exchange. So Liquid actually, despite some heroic plays from GH, stealing that aphotic shield, purging off the lasso, then stealing the lasso, ultimately did not get them that much. But being able to fight on the enemy shrine and still only come out with 2 support casualties brings a lot of hope for this OG squad right now. And now we're seeing a teleport. They want to go on top.
Ooh, he gets the hit on him. And now, if they can just strike like a fast, I can't believe that. Those Maelstrom procs, how lucky is Matumba Man? He just got non-stop lightning.
Surprisingly, Wrath of Nature was not used, so I think Mind Control just thought that the bounces would take too long to get to him, and the first clicks wouldn't do enough. So yeah, it's a narrow finish, but that lightning proc.
Matumba Man actually switching up. He was thinking about going for Scotty, I think, before, which is a little surprising. Now he's going to go for the full-out Mjolnir. That one team fight around their jungle where, as you said, GH had those heroic efforts with the stolen spells really goes to show they just don't have enough burst damage oftentimes to deal with this Monkey King. But a pickoff like that is leading them into the Roshan pit right now. But Seb is going to reveal. Can he actually get some sort of seal? Jarek's going to make the jump in. Echo slam out. Angel's on the deck is going to be picked up just in time by Miracle. Jarek trying to get away. Finisher's going to be able to solve things up with the Chain Frost, make sure he falls. And now they actually have stolen the Fisher now.
Oh my god, GH, this dude is out of control. The instant telekinesis after the Echo Slam, he knew he needed to stand on the outer perimeter of that Roche pit. Immediately plucks that Earthshaker out from his combination, can't get either of the other stuns off, then steals the Fissure. GH is just putting the team on his back right now, and Liquid would come out with an Aegis.
He certainly is. I mean, what a beautiful Rubik game this is. Abaddon as well as the Earthshaker, those two supports, just such great spells to steal.
I mean, GH, he probably wanted to play Earthshaker this game anyway, so...
Yeah, that's true. And he's getting his chance too with all these stolen Fissures. 13-13. Net worth pretty much even back up now.
Pull roots and run.
So, why do you think that Medusa went for this Manta-style rush? Picking it up first item, before the Scotty, before any other sort of item, just straight up rushing it.
We saw some of those times there's like, what, the situations where you've got the Bat Rider trying to get the lasso on you. You don't feel good about Lincolns. That obviously we saw an era where Medusas were always going Lincoln's Manta.
Right.
Much to a lot of pros' dismay because it just does no damage. I think this Manta, you know, like if you're fast enough with the reactions, you can at least be able to respond to the Bat Rider's blink. There's also certain things like just being able to make the Monkey King's game a little bit harder as well.
Yeah, and I guess it also helps dispel that Whirling Axe's miss chance.
Yeah.
Which, ideally, Troll Warlord never gets close enough to her to be able to get it off. As we see, both teams are just completely opposite sides of the map right now, which it's understandable from OG, seeing as how they would be fighting into a Medusa Aegis. But Liquid seemingly more than willing to give up a tower of their own as well on the bot lane.
They are going to be able to pick up a Scotty here very soon on Miracle. That's obviously a really big power spike.
And Liquid have proven to be very good at converting on those power spikes. I remember an early game against Pain.
Oh, yeah. Fisher for Fisher. Matumba Man trying to get out the swarm. Will be able to clip Jarek's here. Thompson is on the high ground, but after this first cut down, Mind Control. You know exactly what you were up to. Thompson is still alive though at about half HP with the double damage, making short work of him. All that extra armor doesn't do a whole lot because Mind Control has the Midas armor out from the medallion as well. They Chain Frost bouncing around. They do support the blink. They are going to be falling here, but Miracle and Matumba Man just manning up together up against Anna. Matumba Man barely gets away from Anna just in time. Is going to be able to drift away, and it's left now for Miracle to be able to fight this out. Matumba Man's going to come back in with a little bit of health, and Anna is already slowed down by that Scotty. Mystic Snake clips him as well. He's going to be able to get to the shrine, though. Can they still get this kill? Anna, he's going to fly back. Just because of that, he tries to get another Ensnare, and Matumba Man fails to be able to do so. Miracle's completely out of mana, but he also still has that Aegis. They're going to just try and take that item away from him first, and they have so many heroes here that Liquid, they drifted into deep OG territory. I'm not sure if Miracle's going to be able to fight this out for a second life. And Chant Totem just keep him stunned. But here comes the rest of Liquid. And Chant Totem and the Echo Sand both being used to control up Miracle. But he's almost dead now. The mana is completely out. Chant's trying to save him, but doesn't actually get it. Miracle falls. Anna stays alive after a monster chase that leads Liquid astray. Now the jump in from Thompson's going to be able to find Kuro as well. Takes that bounty rune, yoinks it away. OG, it was looking slightly rough for them for a second, but every single time these fights, they're able to cobble together some great solutions.
It's times like this as the Nature's Prophet, Wow. That guy has some impressive lungs.
We've got some like opera singers.
Yeah, right?
Something.
Ooh, okay, give a hand for that one.
I don't know if anybody online can hear that, but it was sick in here in the stadium.
It sounds like this is a Nature's Prophet. You really wish you built a spirit vessel. Everyone on Liquid had just a sliver of health.
I love how fast they're playing. Look at that 7 immediately going for the extra pickoff. Is going to be able to find GH. He immediately fights back, but his tier 3 is already dead. And look at OG. As fast as they came in to take an objective and take a kill, as fast as they go out.
Shrines are available now, and this is going to be very important looking at the next Roche, because both teams have excellent Roche taking capabilities and Roche contesting capabilities as well. So they already took the bot shrine, and OG have proven that they're very, very active about taking these shrines. I see a lot of teams get a little bit passive about it, but OG knows whenever these objectives are available, I mean, it's free money, free map control.
You talked about how this troll build with the Battle Fury will allow him to continue to scale really well late into the game. You can see that now with him pretty much having a 4,000 net worth lead over the Medusa. Is about to complete up some pretty important items. He's actually going to be going for the Butterfly next, which is going to put Miracle in an awkward position because he also wants to go for a Butterfly, but he also wants a Hurricane Pike. Because of this Monkey King, because of the Wukong's command with the Diffusal Blade is such a good counter.
Yeah, he needs some certain sort of mitigation. Granted, Matumba Man has built this Mjolnir, which is basically like a cheap 20% accuracy. It's not the greatest. It's not anything like an MKB.
Yeah.
But it still provides some sort of mitigation. And the other thing is that it's providing magic damage that allows you to somewhat ignore some of this Wukong's command armor. Problem is that BKB is now online for this Monkey King as well.
Control. Gonna be snagged up here. Jarex trying to chain the stables, does manage to get a two-man Fisher stun, pops the enchant totem because he has to. He can't afford GH to be able to steal that, even if it costs him his life. He'll go ahead and do that. Miracle, though, is going to be caught here. So Gates goes out. OG trying to burst him down real quickly, unable to do so. Anna turns to stone with his BKB activated. Is going to go for Matumba Man here. Fortunately, timeline goes down just in time. This Swarm does manage to hit Seb here, but Matumba Man doesn't want it. Thompson with his Wukong's command trying to catch out Miracle, but they drift outside of that area. Thompson forced to run into the trees here. Matumba Man, knowing that they have a numbers advantage, wanted to be able to find more. Anna turned around for that illusion rune, but he's going to find that Matumba Man is stolen away from him.
No, he's going to.
But I don't think they can get a kill.
I mean, that was the 10-second BKB from the Monkey King. That was the 9-second BKB from the Troll Warlord, and ultimately all you got was the Nature's Prophet.
Illusion.
And it's not like that Nature's Prophet is a hefty purse either. He's actually below the Monkey King when it comes to farm.
Yeah,
They would much rather have either this Medusa or Matumba Man's Weaver.
Also, shout out to the fact that Anna's freaking level 23 right now at 28 minutes into the game. He is eclipsing this Medusa. He's only level 19 right now.
Jump into the back line, Boundless Strike, trying to burst down GH as quick as possible. All he can do is get out the Fateful before he falls. Kuro is going to do something similar here, trying to stall up Thompson as best as possible. Then Echo Slaver slowing him down just enough for OG to be able to catch him with the lasso. There it is. The other support falls on the side of Liquid, and OG swarming in, trying to get some aggressive vision, can go for some objectives if they want. There is still a tier 1 tower alive in the off lane.
With all of its HP. This tier 1 tower has not been touched the entire game.
How has that happened? That is unbelievable. It goes to show OG's ideas about the game and how they just keep on playing this blistering pace of just searching for kills nonstop, but not really going for these objectives. They find Matumba Man here. They do not have the lasso, though, so I'm not entirely sure how they're going to be able to get this one unless somehow Seb just finds him all the time. Boundless Strike misses, but the time lapse is there. Jarex is going to be able to hit him. And he's now out of the Shikuchi. Maybe they get him with the Enchant Totem as well. They locked him down, but some big balls. OG looking for kills nonstop, and they do find them.
Another scoop on the Weaver, but Medusa's still the raid boss at the end of the day. You can get all these kills, but high ground sieging is going to be difficult. Them being able to take that tier 3 tower dump out was a gift. Now it's going to come down to this next Roche fight, which is a late one. It's going to spawn another 2.5 minutes. But the Weaver will definitely be respawned by then.
We've seen this build from a couple of ranged off-laners. We saw it yesterday from a Bat Rider who wanted to build it. Now it's going to be Furion Crimson Guard against the Monkey King. Not usually a ranged off-laner kind of tool, but such a good team fight item, and they really need it against this Monkey King.
As long as they can stick together. Liquid is kind of getting picked off here and again in these past 2 to 3 minutes. But if you can stick together, this Crimson Guard can definitely help mitigate a lot of this Wukong's command damage and allow the supports to actually go in. Like, they lassoed the Lich earlier, that's absolutely worth it. This Frost Shield is mitigating so much damage. If you put the Crimson Guard on top of that, then none of these right clicks are really going to do anything.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And now OG are claiming the final tier 2 remaining on the Liquid side of the map.
Pretty big team fight pickup in that level 20 talent. The Stone Gaze duration.
Yeah, Miracle, I think, is one of the few players who's consistently going for this. I think, or it may be a moving trend as this tournament has been developing. It's mind control. Does not realize just how close he was to death right there.
There is, I mean, like, OG, they have to run around the map and look for these kills nonstop, and that's because Liquid is always split pushing the hell out of them. So we see tier 2 fall in the bottom lane.
Which is why I'm a little bit surprised that Mind Control is spending time in this top lane. Right now, Roche is going to respawn eventually, mid lane.
Do they spot him? They're going to get off the Wukong's command. BKB activating a 2-man Boundless Strike set up. Miracle trying to get off his Stone Gaze. Does manage to do it, but they just turn away from him. Go for Mind Control. That's why Mind Control runs to the help of Miracle. Echo Slam laid down by Jarex. Stopping Kuro. Catching Miracle as well. They're going to be able to finish up the captain of Liquid. Now they just need to be able to chase down the carries. Miracle's forced to pop his man to turn and fight. See if he can get a kill out of this death because he's certainly going down. Furion dies as well in the backline, and Zap is able to get that kill. He boots and travels out of here because the big push at bottom lane. He's got to deal with that first. As the buybacks come out, Anna will be forced back as well.
I mean, Mind Control's trying to make space right now, starting to damage this tier 3 top and gets nearly down to half HP. And unfortunately, this late Roche respawn means that ideally this Lich is going to be able to start making his way over underneath the smoke. Medusa did have to buy back though, and that's a massive setback. Troll Warlord, 25,000 net worth.
Yeah.
16k of the Medusa.
Just an insane difference here, and you could see Liquid. I mean, they feel like, oh, we're going to get some power spikes later into the game. What if we get our level 25s? What if we finally get a 6-slotted Medusa? But OG had just been timely. It feels like every, 2, 3, 4 minutes, they'll be able to find a really successful team fight that kills the Medusa and shuts down her farm. And now,
Roche is just melting. GH and the rest of Liquid are smoked up.
Holy cow, look at that. Miracle is far behind the average. They're not going to be able to get in the Roshan pit in time here. And GH may be caught as a result. Maybe it's going to be Miracle instead. They do manage to get a bit of an initiation out for the telekinesis. Miracle does pop his Stone Gaze, but he's inside the Wukong's command, and his mana is being burned. He's got to force Zap over to the high ground. Jarex is going to be trying to get away. Turns around, Fisher. No, he turns to stone! That could have been the end of the game right there if he'd gotten off the Fissure and stopped the TP. Miracle's dead, and he has no buyback.
Liquid is so close to the edge right now, but they're kind of giving OG a taste of their own medicine. His mind-controlled Nature's Prophet is just constantly cutting creep waves, keeping their backdoor protection active inside of the Radiant half of the map, but you see how quickly Ana takes objectives. It's devastating.
Can we talk about that? What do you think about that? E-Blade on Monkey King. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know in an earlier game we had seen an E-Blade on an anti-mage, and the way I justified it is, if you don't necessarily want to go for a halberd, an E-Blade's kind of like a disarm, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like a healthy amount of agility, and then you have this defense mechanism against a lot of just right-click damage out from the Medusa and Weaver. That's the only way you're going to be dying. Finding Miracle, but there is the telekinesis. Zep did not pop his BKB going into this, but they do manage to steal a lasso if they can get Miracle out. But the again, Jarex fighting his time, finding the opening. They've got him down. Miracle's dead for 100 seconds, and that's got to be it. OG can run down heroes if they want, but objectives, the base is all there.
Look at this on a troll.
He wants to establish Liquid need to get out of this game right now. He dies the fountain, forces the GG call from Team Liquid. OG taking game 1.
Now this is the OG everyone wanted to see. This is the OG that won TIA, coming out dominant over Team Liquid. And you see the crowd, you hear the crowd.
They are loving the way that OG is playing right